the Milwaukee 15 gauge finish nailer. Why this nailer specifically has convinced me to get rid of that compressor and the nail guns in that toolbox that are collecting dust over there. Let's jump into it. Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. My name is Andrew. If we have not met before, thank you so much for watching. We're gonna jump into this this is a 15 gauge finish nailer by Milwaukee. The actual tool number is 2839-20. We're gonna go over what my initial thoughts are with this and why this has essentially killed off pneumatic nailers for me. So to give you kind of a little bit of a background, this is the first battery powered nailer I've used, not only owned, but used. The ease of this, the ability to not drag around, or not have to drag around an air hose is spectacular. The couple of the trade-offs, we'll go over those, of course. One is the weight. Yes, it's going to be heavier than a air-powered finish nailer, but you don't have to worry about tripping over a cord if your hose is long enough, if your compressor dies. Like, they make these things now so affordably that we don't know how long some of them are going to last. It's great to have, I think, for homeowners as well, because it takes you all of walking in here, grabbing the tool, grabbing the battery, walking back in the house. You're done. You can go and start getting to work immediately. Whereas you have to grab a little pancake air compressor like this Porter cable right here, grab a hose, grab a nailer, grab your nails, walk inside, maybe having to make 2 trips depending on the size of the compressor you have, and it could take you 10 minutes just to set up before you can even start working. This cuts out all of that. As long as it takes you to come out and grab a drill and a battery, you now have a nailer. That is a big plus for me. I don't get paid to do any of this stuff. I don't get paid to take care of my own house, to build my own DIY projects. So this is a great plus for me that, to give you an example, so I have a swing outside that I built for those hammock swings. I have a 6-sided swing I built for our family out of these 6x6s, and at the bottom I just used some 2x6s to cover up the anchors, and a couple of them were coming loose. I came in, grabbed this, ran right back out, fastened a few of them, came back in. That was done in about 5 minutes. If I was having to use an air compressor, I would still be setting up the extension cord and running it out to where I needed to before I had walked back in here with this and put it away. So it's, I'm definitely late to the game here. It's definitely something that I wish I had purchased when I was doing a lot of trim work in the house. I have some ideas for additional trim work because of tools like this. The thing I'm going to probably buy next is the brad nailer, so the 18 gauger. I can't wait to get that. Hopefully in the next few weeks I'll be going out and buying that guy. So I've used this on 3 different jobs so far. The biggest one being the staircase remodel. I'll link that right here so you can take a look at that, but here's just some footage of me using it. And it's very enjoyable, not loud. There's no air blowback. And I honestly thought there would be more of a pulse or a vibration when the actual nail is fired, but it's not. So let's jump into actually firing some of these nails. So in it right now, I just have some 15 gauge, these are 2-inch finish nails. And let's go ahead and I'm gonna show you how this thing turns on and the different modes it has. So, hoping you can see this. Sorry, I'm gonna make sure I get this on camera here. Okay, so you do have a power button, which is a little different. It's not like a drill where you plug in the battery and it turns on. So there's on, and you can hold down the mode button that gets you to bump fire. So the 3 nails or single fire. Battery gauge is just on your battery. So let's go ahead. I think I got safety glasses, of course. Let's just fire a couple here. Now you do have your depth set, which is just the knob right here, so very familiar if you've used any nailer in the past. Of course, you're going to be looking at this more when you're using actual molding. Firing into this guy is a very solid piece of wood, whereas you could be firing into trim that's MDF, pine. You want to make sure your depth is set correctly. But even on this is setting quite nicely, and you want a hole that's big enough that you can fill. If it's not setting it deep enough, you're gonna have a very hard time actually filling that hole so you can get a nice clean finish on it after you paint it. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm actually gonna just hold the mode button, and we're gonna go into bump fire. So now I'm just gonna hold the trigger. No jams, everything is set very nicely. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off since I'm gonna just be talking mainly now. So let me go ahead, I'm gonna grab the camera here, I'll show you how these set. So you can see the nail heads on all of them. The first few down here were down a little ways, so I made an adjustment, and as you can see, those are quite nice. So the Milwaukee 15 gauge nailer has changed my mind completely on, do I need a compressor? For nailers, no, not anymore. Once I get my next one, which is the Brad nailer, the 18 gauge, I would be shocked if I ever opened up that drawer anymore to use those. I don't see a need. They've done such a good job with this. Although a finish nailer, the only thing I think is maybe a little much, I don't think you really need a bump fire, but that's just me. I really don't even use bump fire on the framing nailer that I have that's a pneumatic. So that may just me being someone that doesn't use these all the time, that I'm not as comfortable using a bump fire, but I don't see a need for a finish nail with a bump fire. But more power to you if you use it. I try to be very, very careful when firing these because all the nail holes have to be filled and painted over, so I want to make sure I'm taking my time when I'm putting these in. So this is a fantastic tool. I know just based off reviews, some of the Gen 1 stuff that they had, I guess their first attempts with these left a lot to be desired. I'm still new to this. I don't see much to be desired on this. I would love to hear if you are a professional finish installer, or if you use these every day of your life and this is how you feed your family. I'd love to know more about these from you. But from a homeowner, DIYer's opinion, I think it's fantastic. I have nothing else to say. This is a fun tool, one I can see myself using a lot. The ultimate goal for my family's life is to actually buy some property and build a house, and for me to have a good, me to be able to accomplish a good bit of that work that'll be needed to building that house. And tools like this will allow me to do that. So I'm putting that out there in the ether. Hopefully this is something that can happen, and I'm trying to drive to that goal. But these M18 tools, the tools that are out now, they're so much fun to use. I try to find projects now to use them. So if you guys have any questions on anything, I will do my best to answer them, but I would love it if you would like and subscribe, because I got a lot more fun stuff coming out for you. So thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.